Hello, everyone. Welcome. This will be the last review of King's Court. It's the finale. So, we're going to be doing season 1, episode 10, the finale episode of King's Court. Okay, and we won't waste any time. We'll just jump right in. Okay, so the episode started out between a date between Tyson and Jennifer. He took her on a motorcycle, and I'm not sure if this is his motorcycle or not, or if this is just one that he's borrowing, but he knows how to, ride the motorcycle. So he took her out on a motorcycle date. And she said she felt a sense of safety with him. Tyson told her that he felt like she was drama free, basically in comparison to Felicia. Okay, pause right here. I didn't really like that. I don't think a man should be telling, especially two women that you're dating, don't bring the other one up in front of the other one, saying, I feel like you're drama free, in comparison to what I've been dealing with. But no, like she didn't need to hear that, because in her mind now that puts her, ahead of, her competition, because that's just how we think in general, as human beings, not just women. You tell me something, I have a leg up. But yeah, I didn't really like that he mentioned that to her. Never compare, a woman in front of another woman, especially two women that you're dating. That's not cool. I didn't like when he did that. But they did enjoy their date, and it seemed like a nice date. It seems like a fun date. And so Carlos and Janae, they went on their final date as well. Carlos took her in a helicopter, and I guess Janae is not, she's not fond of, being in a helicopter. So, she put that fear aside and joined him on a helicopter ride. And they enjoyed it. She said she enjoyed it. She was able to face her fears, and he liked that too. He liked that she was able to do that something with him. He asked her about how she felt about a prenup, and she didn't. I didn't. I wanted to hear how she felt as well. She didn't really expand too much on it. She talked about experiences that she's had, or conversation that she's had with other women, I guess, and they've had the rug pulled from under them, and that's something that she never really want to experience. So I was like, what does that mean? Does that mean you agree with it, or because it could go both ways? You agree with it because you don't want the rug pulled under you, so you don't want you don't want a prenup, or because you want to make sure that you get something at the end, or you don't agree with it, so you do want a prenup, or whatever the case is, So I wasn't quite sure how she felt on that, but she did say this, she said that she didn't really like the fact that they were talking about a potential end to their relationship before, like a divorce. She said it was unnatural to talk about divorce already. And then she was like, well, maybe I don't really know him. And again, another pause. Go for the prenup, because I think a lot of people don't understand prenup, okay? And I've never been married, but I've heard about prenuptial agreements. And I know it protects both parties, especially in today's day and age where people get married and divorced at a drop of a hat. They don't care. They will divorce in a second. They'll get married in a second. So I think prenup protects both parties in a sense, because you can put whatever you want in a prenup. It's just a binding agreement. So it doesn't say you get nothing. It can say that, but it doesn't really say that. It's you sitting down and coming to an understanding, like, hey, if something were to happen, worst case scenario, because you have to plan for the future. It's like getting insurance. I'm a big proponent of insurance. You need it, right? And a lot of people, they're like scared to get life insurance because, if I get it, that means my impending debt. It's like all these talks, like, you got to be real, okay? We live in reality. We don't live in like a fantasy world. So there's certain things where you just really got to talk about. And so yeah, Janae, I say go ahead, talk about that prenuptial agreement. This isn't the day of old. Get a prenuptial agreement. Protect yourself, and I'm sure he wants to protect himself and protect his assets as well. And you can make an agreement where you both feel good about it. It's always, everything is a negotiation, okay? As as this judge that I work with say all the time, he says, we're always, always negotiating. Okay. So you're always negotiating, girl. So go ahead, get that prenup and negotiate if it comes to that. And I hope it does, for y'all. Thaddeus and Dr. Ariel, they went on a date together. They went horseback riding, and she's from Houston, so she's a cowboy. She's used to seeing all that. Okay. Thaddeus told her that he was very attracted to her, and what attracted her to him, or him to her, was how genuine she was. Because you can tell she's a very genuine. You can tell on screen, like, she comes off as a very genuine person. He said how devoted of a mother she is, how she started her businesses. So he kind of respect that, and he liked that about her. And of course, he also said he loved her. Thaddeus had a conversation with Dr. Kalia as well, because this is the final conversations that they're having, right? They're having these final chats, these conversations, just to see like where it's gonna go. He had a conversation with Dr. Kalia as well, where he told her that he does have feelings for Dr. Ariel too. He kind of wants her to understand that. And for him, he's like basically at that point where he was at, it was basically a process of elimination for him. And I respect that. I respect him telling her that as well. Like, like, let people know up front, like, this is how I'm feeling. And this is what it is. So that way she has a better idea of, does she want to hold on and wait, or, can she accept that, she told them that she recognized that, there's a lot of pressure on him, that, but she does get scared sometimes, which is understandable. Dr. Ariel and Dr. Kalia, then they had a conversation as well. I know Dr. Ariel, was telling Dr. Kalia, that, because Dr. Kalia was expressing to her that she didn't feel, a sense of security. So Dr. Ariel was telling Dr. Kalia, well, until this process is over, you're not really going to get that sense of security you need, because we're both dating the same man. He's interested in both of us, and I'm interested in him as well. So I think she's basically letting her know, like, I don't know what you want me to say, but that sense of security isn't going to be there, until this process is over. And I thought they had like a very respectful conversation, She said, oh, they're both so alike. She said they both like to do these like TED Talks. They're so similar. And they are very similar. Janae and Carlos, they had their final conversation as well about what a future would look like, about how they would integrate their lives. And he gave Janae a promise ring and asked her to be his queen. He also got her tickets to Cabo for a week, for them to go on vacation together. And I thought that was actually really good. You don't have to get engaged right away. I thought the promise ring was cute. Because I still think they still need to get to know each other a little bit more, because Janae, she was taken off guard with the prenup situation. And I feel like they need to talk to each other more, understand each other more, so that way they can make a better decision about how they feel about being together in the future, because it seems like there are certain things that may give pause. So I kind of like that they did this. They decided, hey, after this process is over, this dating on TV, we'll just take a step back, go on like dates together, go on this like lit vacation together. He said he gave her the promise ring as kind of letting her know that I will be faithful to you, because he did say that's something that, he has to constantly reassure her. And for him, I feel like maybe this ring, for him, is his way of reassuring her, to let her know, like, hey, it's you, like, this is not like the other relationship that you've had, and I'm going to try to be different. I'm going to try to make it different for you, because I do care about you. So I liked everything about that, their whole little scene that they had together. And then Tyson, he met with Felicia and Jennifer. Those are his two, those are his two relationships. Tyson told Felicia that they had some good memories. And, she told him, yeah, I'd like to make some more memories with you. he, of course, they were going back and forth because, at this point it's between the two of them. Like, which one is he going to choose? So the cameras pan to him and Jennifer as well, where he told Jennifer with her, he had like this instant connection, because Jennifer came in as Carlos's connection, as his like perfect match from the matchmaker, if y'all remember. But he was instantly attracted to her, and she wasn't his perfect match, but they were instantly attracted to each other. So he told her that. Tyson ended up telling Felicia that, she is not his queen. And I figured, because honestly, when he actually talked about her in front of somebody else, or he went on that date and he was talking about she's drama and he see all these red flags with her, I knew he wasn't going to choose her. And, he was sitting there kissing up on her, hugging up on her up until the very last. I was like, he shouldn't have been doing all that. He should have done things clearly. But, Felicia ain't stupid, because she was like, you know what? It's fine. She was like, I choose myself as well, because at the end of the day, she knew what was up, basically. She said she wished him the best, but she wished better for herself. And then Tyson told Jennifer that, he wished her the best as well, but she is not his queen. And honestly, since this thing began, so basically he chose neither of them. Okay. And since this thing began, this is one of the wisest decision or smartest thing or thing where I'm just like, okay, this is a good move, Tyson, that I've ever seen him done. Up until this point, it was just playful, jokey, can't deal with relationships, can't deal with actual conversations, can't deal with, going in depth with people, can't deal with any type of confrontation. That's all I've been seeing with him. So up until now, I was like, what is going on? Where is his head at? So, okay, I see now you saying, okay, you understand you need to work on some things. If you're really going to truly love a woman again or love someone again, you really got to work on yourself, because what I was seeing was not it. So that was a good decision, Tyson. And these women, I think they'll find someone that really appreciates them and, will choose them and put them first. So on to Thaddeus. Thaddeus said that he want to make sure that this journey does not lead him to another failed relationship, because he doesn't want any more failed relationships. So he was speaking to Dr. Ariel. He started crying, and he said, she actually helped him break down some of his walls, and he appreciated her for that. But ultimately, he did not choose her. He said she is not his queen. And I wasn't sure, but up until this last episode, I kind of felt it. Like, up until this last episode, I kind of felt like maybe that wasn't the direction he was going in. I just kind of felt it. And then he told Dr. Kalia that he has enjoyed the journey with her. And then he asked Dr. Kalia to be his queen. And I wasn't sure either, but because like Dr. Ariel said, they were so much alike, and I like Dr. Kalia, but there was just something about her that I wasn't quite sure about. I just wasn't, something about her that I was like, what? There's something that I couldn't quite put my finger on with her. So I didn't think that he was going to go that route. But there is something within her that he saw, because she is quite beautiful. She is a well-established woman. And she does show that she liked him. She does show that she wanted him almost more than anything. And God told her that this was going to be her husband, so I don't know if, I don't know, maybe there was something there. But there was just something that I couldn't quite put my finger on. But, in the ending credits, it said that she actually met his family, and they met each other's family and they were doing good. So, hopefully they are still together, because, she seemed to genuinely like him. And he did seem to like her as well. So I do hope that they are still together. Carlos and Janae, they posted a little thing saying that they did enjoy their vacation, and they moved closer to each other as well. So, and then of course, Tyson, he's, solo dolo. So he's doing his little thing. So yeah, so that's it. Today was quick because they actually got to it. Today review recapping was really fast. They got to it fast. This episode seemed to have gone by so quickly. I was like, oh, has it been almost 50 minutes already of watching the show? It didn't even feel like it was that fast. It didn't even feel like it was that so. Some of the episodes seem to drag on to where you're like, it's been going on for like an hour and 30 minutes. But they got to it today on this final episode. So 2 gentlemen, found someone. One went home single. All in all, it was a good show. You get to see some of these people. You get to see them date. I think this was a great example of what a lot of dating shows should be. Like people really trying to find love, and I do love the fact that there were a few people that had a little bit of drama, but for the most part, most people, they did not have that much drama in this. And I like it. It was a great representation, I think, of, Black people trying to find love. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's tough. Sometimes you got the little playboy Tyson, sometimes you got those people, sometimes you got people that have changed, sometimes you got people, they have children. You have a spectrum of people trying to date and find relationships, and that's why I really love these dating shows. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my reviews and recaps, and some of my opinion on some things. You may not agree with them, but it's just my opinion. So I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. If they do come out with another one, another Queens or King's Court, I will be reviewing. So continue watching and please subscribe. Thank you.